let's do this.
Let's do this.
Yes?
Oh, I thought you were finishing up still. We're literally doing this?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's go.
Let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Book Reshorts.
It's the shortest day of the year, almost, kind of. Well, I don't know when this is coming out.
None of that made sense. It's not. It's all a lie.
But isn't the solstice around this time?
Yeah, but yes, close.
Yeah,
but it's not yet.
Look, and I'm taking some creative liberties just because we have our reshorts for our shortest day.
Okay, sure. Let's go with that. So our book reshorts are our little short versions of our big podcast, Book Retorts.
That's correct.
And I'm Danielle. Sorry.
You're Danielle. I'm Sam. This is why we're doing shorts, everyone, because our brains are fried and we just need a break.
It's the end of the year. We've had a long year, a long podcast year too, but we're enjoying it as always.
We've had a lot of fun, but sometimes you just need to take a break and do some shorts.
Exactly. We didn't want to leave you all bereft and not have anything going out, so we had to do something.
Although we did leave you bereft last week, but that's just the nature of a weird month with 5 Wednesdays. So don't blame us, blame the calendar.
It gives you lots of time to catch up on maybe some of our older holiday episodes.
Oh, that's a good idea, Danielle. A little late to tell them that, but okay.
Hey, I'm just saying. If you haven't, then you should.
Absolutely. So what are we doing today, Danielle?
Today we are doing something that we have a name for, Sam. What's it called?
Really?
Yes,
Think Philip K. Dick.
That does not help me.
It's partial recall, Danielle.
Partial recall. Yeah, it would have helped me had I gotten there. We're doing another part. Apparently, I have partial recall. We are doing another one. This time, it's Sam's turn to partial recall. One of our older things that we did.
Before we do that, Danielle, I hate to interrupt you, but I have to fulfill a promise I made in our last partial recall episode.
Okay.
Which was, hey, Danielle, do you remember the 3 sea names from the movie Wolves?
Okay. This is not as easy as it sounds, you guys.
I promised I would surprise you with that in the future. I figured, why wait?
Not Cameron.
No.
So it's Caden?
Yes.
Caleb?
No.
Darn. Not Carson.
No.
Okay, Caden. Why are there so many C names?
I'm going to keep asking this at random episodes until you get it right.
I don't. Okay, Caden was the name of the main boy. And then we have the bad guy, Father Wolf.
Father Wolf. That's his name. Hello, I am Father Wolf.
And I don't remember his actual name.
Okay, well, we had Jason Momoa who played him, right?
Yeah, I know all of that stuff. I actually remembered most of that plot up until it got to the farm.
Until about a third of the way through the movie, yeah.
But I was really good at the first third.
You were on point. I gotta say, you did really well, except for the names.
I just can't remember their names.
Right. Caden, you got. That's one. You had Connor, Jason Momoa, yeah. And the ancillary character, Carter. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is so hard.
I don't know why it's so hard for you.
Because it's not my movie. You know what? Actually, I can't even remember the name of the characters from things that I've watched or read.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Dana, don't blame that on me.
Let's not. I can't even remember people that I talk to on a daily basis. So I don't work with them. I don't remember their names.
All right. Well, that was just a little mini recall for you. Let's get on to me. I deserve this.
You deserve this. Okay. Sam, partial recall. I am throwing it back. To last holiday season.
Oh, no.
Last winter bazaar.
Is this the disaster movie?
It may or may not be. That I'm going to make you recap Snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon, the one that was about like a freaking snow globe or something.
Spoilers.
All right. Boy, I remember none of the characters in that movie because they were all bland.
They're all Cameron, Caden, and
Carter.
And Carter.
That's right. They're all I think we should just call every character whose name we can't remember, just call him Cameron, because Cameron's the one that wasn't in the movie.
Cameron's the only one I can remember, and it wasn't in there. It was the one I thought was in there that wasn't in there. That's the terrible thing.
From now on, the term Cameron refers to a character whose name we can't remember.
Perfect. All right. Before we begin, Sam.
Yeah, I
do need to know, do you remember what TV station hosted this movie?
A SyFy, right?
Yes, it was.
Of course. Who else would host something called Snowmageddon but SyFy? I'm sorry. I was wrong. It's SyFy.
SyFy.
Yeah, that's when it became SyFy after it changed its name.
All right. What happens in this movie, Sam?
Nothing really interesting.
Zing. Poor Snowmageddon.
All right. So
and
there's
unknown actors.
There's a father. He's got a daughter and a son, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And a wife. It's a family. I've described the nuclear family.
Everyday, nuclear, quote unquote, family.
Yeah, I've made the description of the nuclear family. Good job, Sam. I could do a home ec course in the 1960s or something, 50s.
Exactly.
They live in Alaska?
Yes. Do you remember the name of the city in Alaska?
Mooseburg.
Solid guess. It was not that.
Glacier Town.
Nope. Go more normal.
Was it Normal, Alaska?
It really was.
I hated that name. It was Normal, Alaska. Normal, Alaska. I don't regret not remembering that. Although it's a dumb name, but I do believe there are places called Normal, and I'm sorry to those places. I apologize.
I like Mooseburg. I think that was a better one. I'm assuming that was the town next door. Yeah.
Mooseburg would be a better idea. I think it'd be cool. Moose are awesome.
The town they couldn't get a hold of is Mooseburg.
Right. So they're having they're getting ready for Christmas, and this mysterious package is left on their doorstep. A present, right?
Yes.
And the son opens it up, and it has a snow globe in it. And it's a snow globe of the town of Normal.
Correct.
And there's a thing about how the clock is stopped.
The clock in town?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I made an allusion to how that clock was the one in Back to the Future or something.
You did. Yes, you did.
And that's all I remember about it, because that's what I said.
I mean, the clock does not play a pivotal role in this other than being a countdown. I don't know.
Yeah, it counts down. It does the exact opposite of a clock. By not counting forward time, it counts backwards time.
Do you remember the kid's name, Sam? I know you said you don't remember any of the names. Do you remember
of course I remember his name? His name is Cameron.
No. Yes, Cameron Rudy is his name.
Rudy. Oh, because it's Rudolph. I gotcha.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. So Rudy. And his dad has a helicopter. He's a sheriff or a rescuer or something like that.
I mean, yes, all those things are technically true, but he does not have a helicopter. The mom is a helicopter pilot.
Yes, right. She's a character pilot, and he's the sheriff, right? Or something?
We don't know what his job is. Remember, nobody has an actual job in this town.
Okay. She just flies a helicopter, and he is somehow a leader. Right. Yeah.
The only thing we know for sure is that in this town, this entire town, the only thing we know for sure is that the mom is a helicopter pilot, and that the guy in town who can't fix or hasn't fixed the clock is the town fixer. Yeah. Those are the only two jobs that are actually ever said.
And didn't he give them the snow globe or something? Did he leave it on their doorstep, or was a mysterious man in a trench coat or something?
No, it was a mysterious man in a trench coat that was never revealed.
Okay, I didn't remember because it didn't go anywhere, so I did not deem it important.
It was not.
Okay.
Who knows how the magic snow globe got into the town?
Well, we'll get to it, but there are more than one. So at some point, the parents are called away for some reason or another. The dad is called downtown. The mom has to go fly off somewhere.
Do you remember why?
Doesn't the mom helping with some kind of photo shoot for a celebrity snowboarder to drop him off at the top of the mountain so he can snowboard down and her daughter is so got the hots for him?
Yes. I mean, that's all true. But the reason why she was actually he was just an ancillary. He was an addition to the helicopter ride. It was because she was delivering gifts to lower income families in city over or something.
Oh, okay. So she was doing something altruistic, and he was I'll tag along for my own selfish reasons.
Yes.
Okay. And the daughter tags along too.
Because she's very excited about the guy.
The hot snowboarder. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I don't remember why the dad's called downtown, but
he's called downtown because something happens in the snow globe, Sam.
I thought that happened. Okay.
Nope. It starts from the beginning.
All right. So it starts from the beginning, and there's a crack that forms the ground in the snow globe.
Absolutely.
And it of course, it's reflected that it happens in the town too. Like an actual like crack starts to form, and a bunch of people get trapped on a bus, I think.
Okay, that's way later.
Okay, I don't know.
But okay, jump ahead 12 scenes inside.
No, it's not fine. So he goes down to like go to this crack because apparently they called him over there.
Do you remember what happened with the crack, Sam? Like, what was going on with the crack when it happened?
Like, why it opened up in the snow globe?
No, that there was fire shooting out of it.
Oh, yeah, the magma crack. I was getting to the magma crack. All right. Yeah.
Apparently they're on a volcano.
Right. No, there's way more lava in this movie than there should be in all of Alaska.
In Snowmageddon. There's less snow and more magma.
Way more magma. It's I guess it's technically lava now, but who knows?
Yeah, it's a wild amount of magma. It's lava. Magna lava.
One of them is when it comes out of the ground, one of them is in the ground, and I don't know the difference. I'm not a volcanologist, so don't write me. But they get a babysitter to take care of Rudy, and she somehow becomes, I think she dies later, so that's fun.
Everybody dies later, so I'm like half the cast.
Well, I mean, everybody does at some point. I'm in this movie, Danielle.
Like half the cast dies.
So Dad goes down to investigate. Rudy is playing with the snow globe, and things get worse. Like he causes like an avalanche, and doesn't the helicopter crash before they can drop off the snowboarder?
No. I mean, yes, there is a avalanche at some point, but prior to that, there are giant
ice shards that come rain from the sky. Right. Ice shards
that come through, and that's what drops the helicopter.
Right. It starts raining giant ice shards and like impaling people, and it smashes the helicopter and it crashes. And somehow, like everyone is okay. Like the crash doesn't like hurt anybody badly.
Yes, give or take.
Which is wild to me.
I mean, only the mom and the daughter in the helicopter, because the snowboarders have already been dropped off and we're going down the hill. Right. When it started.
And then his two friends die, and he's like, that's too bad. They died in the avalanche later, and he does not seem to care.
The one friend that he has.
Yeah, whoever it is, yeah. All right. I'm doing, I would say mediocre. I've got the big events, but not the details.
Or the order. But, you're close.
Look, to be fair, the order does not seem to matter in this movie very much.
That's not at all.
Like, it's not like one event precedes another in a logical way. There's like random disasters happening. So eventually that crack gets big, like a bus drives into it or something, right?
No. Your version is much more dramatic than the
How does the bus
version.
get trapped? I don't remember how they get trapped on the bus. Like they don't want to come off of it and they can't open the door or whatever.
So at some point, why are they on the bus? That is a great question.
It's just a city bus, Danielle. A lot of people need to be on a bus.
Well, they're on the bus, but the
I'm straining your memory now too.
No, it is. I don't know why they're on the bus, but the electrical wire is on it.
Oh, right. It electrifies the entire bus so they can't touch the door, but somehow like the floor and seats are fine.
Or something. I don't know, Sam.
Like they're worried that if they touch the door, they can get electrocuted and die. Okay,
yeah, they can't touch the bus and the ground at the same time or something. And then the other guy's wounded, so they can't get out of the bus. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing about contrived nonsense to keep them on the bus. Yeah, they're like problem solving that none of them have, apparently. And there's like a giant Christmas tree also in the middle of the town with a bunch of presents under it, which will become important later. No. No? Yeah? I mean, no. No? Wasn't there a bunch of presents at the very end of the movie where another snow globe pops out? No, it's at like the Christmas party and he finds another snow globe just randomly on the tree and is like, oh no, and he throws it and breaks it. Oh, okay. I thought it was more dramatic with like they zoom in on another snow globe that no one else knew about, like dun dun dun. I mean, no. I made this movie way better in my head, Danielle. I know. You really like elaborated on this. You made it a much more exciting movie, in fact. Well, I'm sorry for making things better, Danielle. It's my curse. Oh, so they get, I'm looking at my notes because otherwise there's literally no way I'm going to this movie, like I said, I can tell you like all the main events that are happening, but I can't tell you why they happen or when they happen. Like, I can tell you about like they go to the mine. I can tell you about like the lava pits and the avalanche and the clock counting backwards. And everyone's like, the world's going to end if we don't fix it. And they have to take the thing to the guy and he has to fix it, the snow globe. And it's like, what's going on? Anyway, that about sums it up. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Reshorts. Like I said, I got the broad strokes, but I don't know like what leads to what, because again, they're just sort of disconnected disaster scenes. So according to my notes, the two guys end up on the bus because here we go, of the ice bullets that are coming from the sky. Right, they dodge into the bus to avoid the ice. Exactly. Shards. And most of the people hide in the town jail, but they, for whatever reason, decide to hide in the bus. And then it gets electrified. Yes. Okay, so they're trapped on the bus. Rudy's at home with a babysitter. Mom and daughter are crashing a helicopter, and snowboarders on the slopes, and then there's an avalanche. Yes. Do you remember the two guys' names that happen to be stuck in the bus?
Cameron and Cameron.
No, they're not. I think we're going to run with this today.
I got nothing.
Go more normal Alaska, Sam.
Norm and Dave.
No, but you were close.
Uh-oh. Give it to me. I got nothing.
Norm and Larry.
Oh, I got Norm. Heck yeah. With a lot of help.
Because Normal was obviously named after him.
Yeah, obviously. Oh, that's right.
You got there, remember?
We're idiots. I'm an idiot at least today. All right, so we have Norm and Larry. I don't remember the dad's name at all. Unless he's one of those two.
I don't know the dad's name.
Okay, great.
Dad.
We'll move on.
Rudy's dad.
Yeah, Rudy's dad. And they're jumping on the bus. There's an avalanche. Somehow the snowboarder survives. His friend dies. And the mom and the daughter also survive by like hiding under the helicopter or something.
I mean, they just survived the helicopter crash.
But what about the avalanche?
They just survived.
Okay, cool.
We haven't gotten to the avalanche quite yet, Sam. We were actually still in the ice thing.
What happens before the avalanche?
So they're on the bus, they're in the snow, and the dad decides to go out and try and find them.
Oh, right. He goes he has a snowmobile out there.
Yeah, he takes like a snowcat.
Snowcat, a big one, yeah.
Yeah. And so he has to get out there first. So they're in the snowcat when the avalanche happens.
Right. He picks up the daughter and the mom and the snowcat, and
because he magically finds them on the hill.
Okay, that's what it is. I remember something about the helicopter being magic, and it was that he can find it with no problem.
Do you remember what's happening back at the house? You haven't mentioned the little kid at all. He's actually, you would not think so according to Sam's recap, but he's a pivotal part of this whole story.
Is he? What's he doing? He's just messing around with the snow globe, right?
Okay, yes, he obviously has some issues with the snow globe, but he also has a game that he's...
Oh, is this the D&D style game?
Yes, Sam.
Oh my gosh, right. Is he trying to get the babysitter to play with him or something?
He was trying to explain everything to her because she was trying to take his mind off everything by saying, how does your game work? And so she was explaining everything. And
somehow it's, related to what's happening. There's a magic sword or whatever he has to go find later.
Yeah, sort of, yes.
Yeah.
That's the story, man.
Anyone who's listening to me recap this thing and thinks, hey, this is incoherent, go listen to the episode and tell me I'm not wrong.
That's true. I would challenge anybody who's listening to this going, what the heck is this movie about? To go back and listen to Snowmageddon and tell us that this is not an incorrect one, because this is exactly what happened in this movie, almost in the exact order.
And look, it's confusing because it's a confusing movie that makes very little sense.
It was definitely one of our more, it was questionable. The plot was questionable.
I admit I am not helping matters in any way and probably making things worse, but I'm starting from a very bad place.
This is accurate.
All right, so he's explaining about his fantasy game, and does he keep playing with the snow globe? Is it a wind-up snow globe? I don't remember.
It has
a turnkey or something,
gears
right?
and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And he's afraid that it's going to be activated if they touch it. So he's trying not to touch it, but the babysitter does pick it up and he's like, watch out, it'll trigger it. And she's like, it's fine. But then it starts to move and she's like, I didn't touch it.
Right. It triggers it. Of course it does. And isn't that when the clock starts moving?
I don't know quite when the clock starts moving in town, but yes, at some point the clock starts moving in town.
Yeah. Counting backwards or whatever.
And then I don't know if you remember my favorite character, Sam. This is very important.
Unless it's a dog, I don't.
It's a dog.
It's a dog. Yeah, okay, I do remember it. Yes.
Mo, the dog.
Right. They have a pet dog named Bo, you said, right?
Mo. M-O.
Mo.
As in Mo, as in Mary.
Mary and Mo?
M, as in Mary. Mo,
okay.
Mary.
I thought you meant Larry, Mo. Curly, and...
Mo.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, that would have been a better reference for you.
You would think I had seen a lot more Three Stooges than I actually have.
Anyway, so meanwhile, in the house, Mo hears stuff going on. This is right before the avalanche, Sam.
Right,
so
he goes running out the door and they go after him.
The open front door for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, the door's just open and Mo runs out and then the babysitter is kind of like, I guess we gotta go into this disaster to find the dog.
Yes. Well, nothing's happening at the house, so it's just snowy at the house. There's no ice shards at the house.
So they go out and after Mo. So everyone's abandoned the house.
Well, no, the kid's still in the house.
Oh, the babysitter left him alone in the house because she's a terrible babysitter.
To run after the dog.
Right, okay. Yep, this is all coming back. Thank you.
To be fair, she's like, stay here, I'll be back in 10 minutes. And this kid is old enough to stay alone for a few minutes.
Yeah, he does not.
He does not. He leaves.
He absolutely leaves because, kids.
Because he's scared that the snow globe's going to do something bad again.
So he just leaves and doesn't he leave to try to take it somewhere to someone or something?
I don't don't know his thought process.
I do remember. I remember when he goes to the old fixed guy, and he's like, "You have a quest now." I'm like, "What are you talking about, old man?"
Yeah, I think he was trying to make his way to town or something on his own in the snow.
Right. All right. So they're in the snowcat. Now the dog's running off. They're doing their thing. But back to the family on the mountain, right?
Yes. Very briefly.
Yeah. Is this when the avalanche happens? Or they're just
This
like,
is where the avalanche happens.
Okay, good. And they survive in the snowcat. And I don't remember how the snowboarder survives, but I guess he just gets lucky.
You don't see how he survives. He just does.
Okay, great. Perfect. Wonderful.
Magic.
You're going to tell those me was the movie, and it was the movie.
He finds the snowboarder, finds the snowcat. So it's fine.
Yeah, right. Because everyone can magically home in on the things they need to find in this movie. Magically, like, I found the helicopter, found the snowcat in an avalanche.
It's crazy.
Wild. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Do you remember what's happening meanwhile on the bus, Sam? With Larry and Norm?
Wasn't like one of them dying?
Yes, one of them. Larry is, I think it's Larry that's deeply injured.
And then doesn't the other one sacrifice himself?
Norm is deeply injured. Larry is not.
It doesn't Larry open the door and electrocute himself to get the door open and save everyone else somehow?
Yeah, so he says he decides to go for it. He's like, I'm going to leave you here to die and I'm going to jump.
Oh, okay.
And he opens the door to go, but somehow managed to electrocute himself.
So, he was trying to be cowardly and he died and left poor old Mo behind.
Do you remember what happens when he electrocutes?
Does it do like a little skeleton thing?
No, but it does manage to blow up the entire bus.
Oh, right. How did that happen?
I don't know. I guess Larry acted as a conduit.
Yeah, but what caused the explosion? Was there
probably gas or something? Sam, I don't remember seeing anything in the movie. I was just as perplexed as to why it blew up as you are.
All right. Oh my gosh. How can I forget the gratuitous explosion?
I was like, what?
To be fair, it's been at least a year since I've even thought about this movie.
I think I mentioned to you, I didn't tell you what I re-listened to, but I re-listened to this episode because I was like, well, I don't remember what happened in Snowmageddon.
Okay. Yeah, and even with that, we're still here, Danielle, so,
I know, I still don't remember.
That just shows how unmemorable this movie is.
It really is, though.
So the bus explodes. It's hilarious. Love that.
Oh, poor Larry and Norm.
Well, we got Larry and Mo. Where's Curly? All right. Moving on, do we cut back to the kid now, or do we cut back to the family?
We cut back to the family.
Family, right. They're in the snowcat. They got found by the snowboarder. Are they hiking through the mountain now, or are they trying to dig out the snowcat?
So, I think they managed to dig out the snowcat.
Okay.
Because they're not hiking. They're trying to get somebody on the radio, but they can't contact the town, and they don't know why an emergency team hasn't shown up for all this weird stuff that's going on. It's like
a fair question. Why is no one else in the entire Alaskan area like, hey, that's so weird that there's lava and ice shards raining down the town over there? I'm sure they're fine.
Well, it's because they're in a snow globe, Sam.
Are they in the snow globe, Danielle?
We never figured out if they were inside the snow globe or if the snow globe was a representation of what was happening in the town.
Right, we never did figure that out. And the movie doesn't care.
No, the movie doesn't at all. It doesn't tell you one way or another. It's like this whole movie could not be in a snow globe and it would be fine.
Yeah, they could have a disaster movie and the snow globe could be irrelevant.
It could just be climate change movie, but no.
Well, there are so many of those, Danielle. They're so cliche. You gotta do something do. Put a snow globe on there.
It's like somebody was sitting around a table and they were like, how could we make this? Ooh, I have an idea.
Holiday theme it with a snow globe. Eat your heart out, Roland Emmerich.
We love you, SyFy.
We do. I mean, we had a lot less content for SyFy. All right. So they can't radio anyone. Do they start driving back on the snowcat?
They do. Right? They want to go check on Rudy to make sure he's okay.
It's smart. And isn't that like when giant cracks are opening up and like lava fireballs and stuff spitting out and all that kind of stuff?
No.
No. Dang it. That happens though.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
No? Am I making this movie better in my head again?
You have somehow managed to make the SyFy movie better than it is.
I don't know how that's possible. It's a perfect movie. I'm so bad at this. This is awful.
It's not the worst. Well, maybe. Wait.
Oh, wait. All right. I mean, I remember there was a dog you liked. So that's got points for that.
You do. I'm super impressed.
All right. So they start driving back. Doesn't Rudy go to see the Fix-It Man?
Yeah, I think he's on his way there. But they think that he maybe went to his fort that was in an abandoned mine.
An abandoned mine shaft. So they send like the snowboarder and the sister to go investigate the mine shaft, right?
Yes.
For some reason, they just send these teams alone off into an abandoned mine shaft in the middle of a disaster because that's safe. And shocker, it does not go well for one of those two people.
Told you half the cast dies.
All right, so they go off to investigate the abandoned mine shaft fort, right?
Yes.
And the parents are driving into the middle of town to try to find Rudy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so far so good. I have no idea what happens next.
Like, where are you going with that, Sam?
No idea. Absolutely no clue.
Okay, so this is where the guy, the little fix-it dude, notices that the clock in the globe matches the clock in the tower time, even though the clock time has changed.
So Rudy found him and showed him the globe.
Yes. So he's there in town. And then what happens is John finally shows up.
John, that's his name. We got his name finally.
Oh, yeah. John. Hey. Good job, notes.
doesn't John make like some crazy leap in logic that somehow when it strikes 1 o'clock, it's going to be the end of the world or whatever?
Yes. But first he has to tell the entire town that their fate is dependent on a snow globe.
Right. Because everyone's like, works for me. And everyone is super on board with this plan.
Well, no, at first they're all like, you're insane. But within about 5 minutes of movie time, they're on board.
Yeah, crazy. They turn on that dime real quick.
Yeah, so what John actually says is that every hour they're going to have another disaster and it's counting down to something and we don't know what the countdown is.
And like what is the countdown time is like arbitrary. It's not like midnight or something. It's like some arbitrary hour that's like, oh, once it reaches 1 o'clock, that's it.
Because they have no idea what the countdown time is to. When is the new year? We don't know.
Exactly. All right, so every hour, some new disaster. And doesn't Fix-It Man give Rudy a quest at some point? Like literally he calls it a quest?
I don't know, Sam.
Oh, come on! That's like the thing where he like tells Rudy how to solve the problem. It's like, go and do something.
I think they just talk about Pandora's box.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how a snow globe Pandora's box. I don't remember how that plays into it, but sure.
Well, he Rudy says that he thinks his dad should take the snow globe and throw it into the volcano.
Right, like, as a quest or something. Yeah,
like as part, just like you would in the game. Do you remember the name of the game by chance?
Some Lord of the Rings knockoff.
Dragon of the Crown.
Dragon of the Ground?
Dragon of the Crown.
The Crown. Okay. Yeah, I was close.
Anyway, so it's supposed to take Snow Globe and throw it into the volcano just like you would in Dragon of the Crown, the board game that he loves.
Lord of the Rings, which was where you throw the ring into the fire Mount Doom. That's what's really trying to knock off.
But he says, well, it's not like the craziest idea. This is the guy, the little maker guy that lives in the shack. I don't know. He's like, the game is based on the Greek myth of Pandora's box, essentially.
Which it isn't in any way that we could think of. Because I don't know how Pandora's box involves throwing a snow globe into a fire, but there you go.
Because he made the box in the bowels of a volcano and it has to be returned to destroy it, Sam.
Is that true? Again, I don't remember if that's true or not in the Pandora's.
Well, according to this movie, it is. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember the story of Pandora's box.
My Greek mythology is not good enough to remember if there was anything about destroying the box or if it was just supposed to be a container that, a woman opened so we could blame women for all the faults in the world.
Yeah, that too. But also, once everything was released from the box, the only thing left in it, Sam, was hope. Yeah. I remember the story. I don't remember okay, you throw a snow globe into the fire, you're going to destroy hope? Is that how this works? No. You're going to destroy it and then hope will be saved. I don't know how it works.
Also, they're super on board with throwing this mystical artifact that seems to be a representation of their town into the fire. Like, my thought would be if you do that, it's going to set the whole town on fire.
You would think so, but I mean, they do throw the snow globe at one point. It does not shatter, but it doesn't shake the whole town.
Okay, well, that would have been cool, though.
That would have been hilarious. Like, oh no, we have to be really careful with the snow globe.
All right, so as the follower makes his quest, isn't there another disaster that happens and there's more ice shards or something?
No, it's not ice shards. It's stabbing rocks out of the ground for no reason whatsoever because this movie's called Snowmageddon, but there's no snow.
Yeah, it was, I forgot, there's so little snow disaster in the snow disaster movie. And snowboarder guy gets impaled on one, right?
Well, yes, and also, Larry, the guy who made it off the bus, gets impaled by one.
Well, he survived the bus explosion, so obviously he had to die.
Yeah, so, the sister, the girl, Jen, she sees Larry die, and then later sees her snowboarder boyfriend die by the same...
She's got trauma.
She's gonna have therapy for years.
And doesn't the babysitter also die?
Yes, and the babysitter also dies.
And she did nothing to nobody. She's just dead.
Yeah, I forget why she does. Maybe she also dies. I think her and the snowboarder die both by giant piercing shards.
Apparently, the most deadly part of this entire series so far is not the lava or the avalanche or the raining ice daggers. It is the rocks, the pointy rocks.
Which know exactly where you are, apparently.
They're targeting rocks, heat-seeking rocks.
And so we're like the tail end of this movie. So do you remember what Rudy gives his dad?
Does he give him a sword?
He does, a fake sword.
Yeah, he gives him like a boffing, like a plastic or a foam sword or something.
A little plastic sword that's like a talisman for his hero's journey.
Yep. I knew there was a magic sword in there somewhere.
Yes, you were there, Sam, just way too early.
And wrong how it was used. But yeah, magic sword, gives his dad a magic sword, quote unquote. And the father sets off to find the nearest magma pit, which apparently can't be the pit that's right near the bus.
Which we know had lava in it earlier. Or at least a lot of flames, so we're assuming.
Sure, where there's smoke, there's lava.
Maybe it all like dried up.
Solidified?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, or he would have just thrown it in there.
I think you'd be like, oh, it's like right there. I'm going to just toss it there. Job's done.
Do you remember the best part of this whole movie, Sam, with the sword?
Is it on like a chain or something, right?
He ties a rope to it.
Yeah, right. And he uses it as like a grappling hook or something or like a lasso to hook the snow globe when he like drops it.
Yes, he's trying to hook the bag that it was in.
Yeah. He's trying to like, so I remember that happening. I don't remember if he succeeds or not, but I do remember him doing that.
So it does not work, which is literally the best part of this whole movie. It's supposed to be like this hero's journey talisman from his son, and it doesn't work, and he just like kind of tosses it aside and jumps for the bag.
Which is, could have done that from the start.
Great.
So then he throws it into the lava, right?
Yeah, and says, "Merry Christmas."
Right, which doesn't make any sense because is it Christmas? I don't know.
Yes, it is. Or at least close.
And doesn't like everything stop? Like the clock stops again? Probably. Yeah,
like all the disaster that was just happening stops.
Does everything reverse? Like does everything heal up or is it just like doesn't? Like that's when I thought, okay, great, perfect. I'm glad.
No, everything just stops. Like everybody's still dead that was dead before. All the stuff is still there, and they just begin their Christmas party in town. They're like, hurrah! We think that he succeeded. We assume he's alive, but we don't know.
And that's when we see the other snow globe, and they freak out.
I mean, yeah, they don't all see it. Just one person sees it.
And he smashes it.
Smashes it.
All right.
And then John makes it back into town, and Sam, the most important part of the whole movie.
The dog survives.
Yeah, Mo shows up.
Yeah, of course. Good old Mo. And I don't remember if that was like a post-credit scene or what, but they all sort of hug or something, right?
Well, no, I mean, John shows up back in town because everybody's partying behind her, and the wife is like sitting on the staircase like, I hope my husband comes home after saving the entire town. And then
he went off to the war and haven't seen him in ages.
And then he comes back with his little gunny sack and his hat, and he's like, honey, I've made it home.
I'm back from the war. I brought with you a new son.
There's actually nobody cheers. But
nobody cheers.
But the dog is very excited.
Wow, that was painful, Danielle.
Oh, I know. What a rough movie. I felt like we really needed to relive it again during this, wintry time of the year.
I just remembered, like, disasters happening without context. Because,
yes, clearly.
Well, because the context is pointless in this movie. It doesn't make any sense and does not contribute to understanding why things are happening.
And the complete disregard for some of these characters is just amazing.
I do love how the snowboarder guy is, like, murdered immediately. Like, the love interest of the daughter. I could not believe
it. Like, I couldn't believe that the babysitter died. I was like, oh my gosh, they killed the random babysitter for no reason whatsoever. And then that the love interest to the teenage girl died was, like, mind-boggling.
Well, I mean, I think they were trying to get like a body count, but they didn't want without having to kill the main characters. But they went hard, and they had very few characters in this movie.
That's true. They only had like 8 people in the whole town, and like 5 of them die.
So you have to can't kill the wise fix-it guy because he has to explain about Pandora's box incorrectly.
Like, even at the Christmas party, it was just like a handful of people like, yeah, town party. And you're like, this is the smallest town in the whole world.
Well, Danielle, thank you for bringing that movie back into my life.
You're welcome.
Despite my inability to remember anyone's name, they're all Cameron to me.
I mean, I can't remember anybody's name either.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, not important. And wow, I remember that movie so clearly in terms of what the disasters that happened were, but I remember literally none of the connective tissue between the disasters.
I think that's because you were so stuck on the idea that none of these involve snow.
And also, to be fair, they were the most interesting parts of the movie.
That's completely true.
Nothing else mattered. Like, I didn't care about the long explanation about the Dragon in the Crown book game thing, because who cares?
It saved the day, Sam, except not.
I mean, because it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. He just threw it into lava because his son said, throw it into lava, maybe. And the magic sword did nothing.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, fair. I still think my favorite part is the murdering the snowboarder, because hilarious.
So sad. Poor Jen and her years of trauma.
Oh, yeah, no, I just also love how, like, they party so hard afterwards. And, like, maybe a little solemnity is important at this point.
I mean, really, who cares about Larry and Norm and random snowboarder guy and the babysitter who's probably somebody's child at this party? And
well, everybody's somebody's child, Danielle.
Like, wild.
All right. Well, there you have it. Snowmageddon. Thank you for tolerating my sporadic memory on that. Boy, that was a movie.
It was. Aren't you glad you got to repeat it all over again?
Oh, it's so much, Danielle. Thank you.
You missed it, I'm sure.
I mean, I deserve that for putting you through Wolves. Totally fair that you did to me. I mean, I totally had that coming.
You could have done your Sasquatch movie, because I genuinely don't think I remember a single thing from that movie.
See, I remember that movie quite vividly.
Yeah, but you watched it and it was weird, so it's stuck in your brain. I just had to listen to it, and yeah, it was weird, but I don't remember any of it.
No, that's fair, because that's another movie where there's like, I guarantee you would remember like certain important scenes, but again, the connective tissue of that movie is kind of irrelevant.
Was it kind of vignette-y? I feel like it was a little vignette-y.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, thank you for joining us in this new year on our partial recall. You have shown how little we do recall of our own work.
Part 4. I don't know. We'll come up with a catchy subtitle to this. Partial
more
recall.
Forgetting, more fun.
I don't know.
We'll do better than that, probably. Or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Who cares? Well, we'll have another short next week, and we'll be back to our regularly scheduled episodes after that. Thank you for indulging our holiday schedule. We're very excited to kick off the new year of Book Retorts with a whole bunch of weird media and really bad recaps of that weird media.
And we're always happy to hear suggestions, or if you have any recalls that you would like to hear in the future, please let us know. If
you want Danielle or I try to recap one of our past episodes, you can let us know that at bookretorts.com.
Or you can tweet, Instagram, or Facebook us at Book Retorts.
And if you want more of our nonsense, or just to support us because you're awesome, you can do that at patreon.com/bookretorts.
Patreon!
I was ready for it that time.
Oh, time to switch it up.
Oh no!
We've capped.
Well, until next time, bye.
Take care, everybody.
All right, nailed it. Except for me, I did not nail that summary at all.
I nailed it, except I didn't.
Well, I think I nailed the comedy, but I certainly did not nail the recap, because boy, was that movie like water in the sieve.
I figured it would be, that's why I picked it. As the one, it was wintry themed, but also I was like, this is one of those movies nobody remembers. I barely remember it, and I watched it twice.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, totally fair. Had that coming for all the Connor, Caden, Carter stuff I've given you.
You did pretty well. You always remember more than I do.
I mean, I don't remember more. I remember, like, differently. I remembered my version of the movie better.
Yeah, your version was quite interesting.
I think I could play, like, 10 minutes telling a better version of that story.
I should have made you, like, just have a little recap of what you thought the movie was about, and then gone back through to what the movie was actually about.
Just like playing armchair, writer or whatever.